The Basic Education Department is concerned about the lost learning time for children hospitalized due to suspected food poisoning. 6 children in Naledi in Soweto died after consuming snacks from a foreign-owned spaza shop. And recently, food poisoning incidents have occurred in Gauteng, Mpumalanga, as well as in Limpopo. In total, over 100 learners across these provinces have been treated for symptoms of food poisoning. Let's now bring in National Basic Education spokesperson Mr. Mhlanga. Elijah, great having you with us this afternoon. Welcome. So what is the department doing about these concerns, noting the fact that they actually disrupt teaching and learning in those affected areas? And this is actually exam time, especially for matriculants.
Yeah, good afternoon. Thank you so much for having us. I think from our own point of view, what we can do is to urge parents to engage their children a lot more, because the reports indicate that the purchases of these food items happens outside school, when learners are on their way to school or during breaks, which means it's not part of the school nutrition program. It's a problem that is outside our control. So we need to send a message to our guardians, to our caregivers, as well as parents themselves, to please take care, check the source of the food items which the children are eating, because over and above the fact that it's threatening lives, it is also causing disruptions in terms of the delivery of curriculum in the school. Teaching and learning time is now being rerouted towards assisting the learners who seek medical attention after they have reported different conditions or symptoms arising from the things that they would have ingested.
Now, Elijah, I know yours is not to issue trading licenses for those vendors, specifically outside the school proximity, right? But like we saw with liquor traders having to comply to operate within a certain distance from school premises, is the department not exploring any ways to then further ensure those who supply school children with consumables are properly vetted and forced to comply before they even get those trading licenses, much like your scholar transport as well as other service providers?
Well, you're asking a very important question. I think what we need to consider as a government is to involve education when these regulations are put into place, because we are not part of it. It's not what we do. We concern ourselves with what takes place inside the school. What we urge our school governing bodies as well as our school principals to do, and school communities in general, is to engage those persons that are trading in and around schools, and so that we know about them, who they are and what they are selling. Because a school is part of a larger community, which means the community itself needs to take responsibility for what is taking place insofar as the children are concerned. So we need to be part of that engagement. We need to be an important stakeholder, and we are learning this now because of the crisis that we are in. Before, it was not an issue. We felt that those people were also trying to make a living, which has been the case. But now it seems there are certain dangers that come with what they are doing. We don't know what the source is. That's why we said that we appreciate the work that is being done by other organs of state as well as other government departments, because with each passing day, we get closer to the truth, to knowing exactly what the source of these poisoned items are and what it is that can be done to try to save our children from the sickness and the deaths that have occurred.
Absolutely, Elijah. And bringing it closer to the situation and those communities that are affected, is there any role, I think you mentioned it in your statement there, that SGBs can actually play in safeguarding against these incidents?
Yes, SGBs comprise members of the community, the parents, the teachers, as well as the learners that form the SGB. So we believe that community leaders, whether it's a ward councillor or it's a traditional leader or religious leaders and everybody else really that's involved in terms of the welfare of that community, everyone needs to work together now, because our children are losing their lives, and we believe these are avoidable because these are sold by people that live with us, people that we see. So we believe that holding people to account should be something that we can do, because we know who these people are. They are with us in the communities. So that engagement, in fact, somebody was saying we need a food security summit to discuss this particular matter, to say how do we protect our children from unscrupulous people who are selling poisoned food items. So we need to have a wider community engagement that will focus on the interest of the child in general and our learners in particular, because the academic program, insofar as we want to see it go on, is being disrupted as we speak. You said over 100 learners have been treated countrywide. That means that in all those instances, the teaching program has been disrupted. And that is not desirable, because it's exam time for other grades also approaching above what we are seeing with grade 12s. So it means that it's never moments for us in the basic education sector, and we can't afford that, not now, not any other time.
Let's talk about the order of reporting, Elijah, because I'm sure you've seen some of the reports, even alluding in your statement there that there has been misrepresentation about the fact that some of the food that was consumed by these individuals or learners was actually from the school's nutritious program, of which you actually rightly corrected at the beginning of this interview. So how can then concerned members of the public, be it your parents or guardians or even pupils and teachers themselves, report those that they suspect of any non-compliance?
Well, they should contact the Consumer Goods Council. I think they will get help there in terms of suspicious food items. But I think the first thing that we can do, something that is within our own control, is as parents, if we were to tell our children not to buy anything between home and school, rather get food from home, alternatively use the food that you get from the school nutrition program at school, because we know between the 2 points there should be a certain degree of control, because the parent, caregiver or guardian would know that what they fed their children. And at school, we know what we feed the learners. So we just need to try manage the consumption of food in between home and school, because that's where the problem is, where learners are purchasing stuff in places that nobody knows, and they do this in large numbers. That's why in every instance, there's always more than one learner who's affected. And that is a problem that we are facing right now. So we really need to talk to our children some more, and even reconsider giving them money, because that's where the problem begins also, that we are giving them money for snacks, and it is these snacks that are causing problems at the moment.
Now, also, Elijah, you have, as the department, emphasized some 5 strict basic hygiene adherence practices that, of course, communities, learners can practice. Please go ahead.
Yeah, we emphasize the practice that people should practice the highest hygiene standards. We are saying keep it clean, make sure that you wash your hands. All the people handling the food must wash their hands at all times, but also separate cooked food from raw food, and make sure that the storage facility is also clean, and make sure that the environment in which the food is kept is of a good condition, and that we keep checking and making sure as well that we use clean water, because that's very important. So those are some of the basic principles that could save lives, especially at the point where we are. And these, by the way, we extract them from the manuals that we give to our food handlers when we train them. That's why the National School Nutrition Program is able to feed meals to 9.7 million children every day without a single incident, because we emphasize the need for strict adherence to the hygiene practices. And we train them on a continuous basis, because we want to avoid food poisoning and other similar occurrences. That's why we have trust that our school nutrition program is safe, and that the children can depend on that if they feel they need to have some meals that are reliable, that are also safe.
All right, Elijah, thank you so much for your contributions this afternoon. Mr. Elijah Mhlanga, the Basic Education National Spokesperson there, on their efforts to deal with the recent spate of learners falling ill or even dying because of suspected consumables that they bought from informal traders. And he says, should you suspect poisoning, you can then report to the South African Consumer Goods and Services Ombudsman on 0800 029 999. That number again, 0800 029 999.